Hello, and thank you for tuning in. I'm Casey Weiss.
And I'm Catherine Hunt. Today on Extreme Weather News, we will be discussing the effects of global warming on global events such as the Southern Oscillation, droughts, monsoons, hurricanes, and the thermohaline circulation.
Boy, what a program we have today. Let's get right to it by joining Victor in Asia, who will tell us more about the monsoon season. Victor?
Hi, this is Victor Geislinger reporting from Southeast Asia, and as you can see, there is intense flooding here. This is caused by the monsoon rainy season. During the summer season, the Tibetan Plateau is warmed by the sun, creating a larger temperature differential between the land and ocean. A low pressure zone is created above the land because the surface is heated, causing an intense convection of air. Since the ocean is colder, a higher pressure zone forms over the ocean, and the moist air travels to the Tibetan Plateau. As the air travels to higher elevations, clouds form and release precipitation. This is great for rice paddy farmers, which rice is their main source of food. But it can cause immense damage to buildings and cities, and can damage roads for transportation. If the global trend continues, we will see more variability of the timing of the monsoons, and the intensity of precipitation will increase. This would likely cause even more damage to developing nations and could also affect agriculture. This is Victor Geislinger from Southeast Asia. Back to you, Casey.
Thank you, Victor. And now on to my lovely co-host, who will tell us a little something about the thermohaline circulation.
Thanks, Casey. Many are wondering what kind of impact we would expect with a serious alteration in the thermohaline circulation, also known as the Great Conveyor Belt, which refers to the ocean's large-scale circulation driven by global density gradients. These gradients are formed by changes in water temperature and salinity. Wind-driven surface currents, such as the Gulf Stream, are pushed from equatorial Atlantic Ocean towards higher altitudes, where water evaporates in warmer regions, making for saltier water. This water cools and heads north towards the poles, eventually sinking and forming North Atlantic deep water. If enough cold fresh water from melting ice caps and glaciers of Greenland were to flow into the North Atlantic, it could drastically alter ocean currents and the thermohaline circulation. So what changes would we expect to see if melting ice from global warming were to alter this important worldwide circulation? Well, Europe's temperate climate is to thank for the Gulf Stream, a major role in this conveyor belt. If it were to be dramatically altered, let's just say Roman holidays would always be paired with a white Christmas. Let me just follow that by saying that the likelihood of any significant melting from Greenland in the next 200 years is uncertain at this time.
All right, thank you, Catherine.
And thank you, Casey.
All right, moving right along, we have a special guest, Taylor, here to tell us a little bit about how global warming can affect our hurricane season. Can you tell us more, Taylor?
Well, it looks like we are in for quite the hurricane season this year, Stan.
How's it going to be different from previous years?
Well, although we are actually expecting less hurricanes this year, there will be an increase in Category 4 to 5 hurricanes in the Atlantic in years ahead. Because we are still researching the connections between global warming and hurricanes, we cannot make a valid prediction on just when these hurricanes will take place. But the public should be aware that these devastating hurricanes could hit at any time.
Wow, that is fascinating. Should we be getting prepared for this in any way?
Well, Stan, the best advice I have for you is to keep plenty of food and water in the house and be prepared to get out of town as soon as possible.
Do we have any reason to be worried?
Well, Stan, people will die. So all I can say is move away from the Atlantic coast or be prepared to face the consequences.
All right, thank you, Taylor, for that more than useful information. And now we will join Daniel in the field telling us more about the effects of global warming on droughts. Daniel?
Thanks, Casey. A recent study predicted that by the end of this century, droughts worldwide will become 3 times more frequent and 2 times more severe as a direct result of global warming. The rapid warming of the planet will affect the droughts in many ways. As temperatures rise, so too will evaporation levels. This increased evaporation sucks more water out of the land and creates a dry, arid environment, often unsuitable for life. These drought conditions are often detrimental to local environments that are adapted to moist conditions. As topsoil dries, plants have a harder time staying rooted and can often have difficulty in obtaining substantial amounts of water. With large die-offs of local food sources, animals must search for new ones, which can often upset other ecosystems, further worsening the problem. Along with increased dryness, the warmer temperatures affect life in one more destructive way. After a certain temperature, plant stomatas can no longer stay open, so they close. Stomatas are tiny pores on the plant's leaves that allow for the exchange of gases and plays a crucial part in photosynthesis. Stressing our already strained agricultural system could have devastating effects for all life on this planet, leading to conditions more severe than the great 1930s Dust Bowl. Back to you.
Alright, after the break, I will be explaining the effects of global warming on the Southern Oscillation. This is great. Where the f*** is my coffee, Bob?
Thanks, Stan. So.
As you all know, El Niño is a shift in the Southern Oscillation Index from positive to negative. Basically, the warm water that builds up in the West Pacific is released like a valve into the East Pacific due to the relaxing of the equatorial trade winds. This shift causes a stop in coastal upwelling along the California coast, resulting in lower ecological activity. Globally, El Niño causes droughts in areas like Australia, floods in Central American countries, heavy rains in California, and less snowfall in Arctic North America. Global warming has been shown to both intensify El Niño and increase its frequency. Global warming has already caused an increase of about 0.8 degrees in our world's oceans as well, and according to M.L. Delaney, the continued rise in temperature could lead to a permanent El Niño state as was seen in the Pliocene era. Oh shit!
And now we will be joining our field reporter Josh in Hawaii for this breaking news update.
This is incredible. I'm standing in front of Hawaii's most historically active volcanoes, and just minutes ago we witnessed this volcano erupt and spew columns of hot ash, smoke, and steam thousands of meters into the air. Now, scientists predicted that this volcano was going to erupt in the next 100 years, but no one thought that it would happen this soon. I really need to make sure not to get too close to the magma because that magma can reach temperatures of over 1,000 degrees, so we really need to make sure we're... Nearby inhabitants have already begun evacuating the city. Now, the ash is really starting to come down now. This poses a huge threat to anyone who hasn't evacuated the city. With so much ash coming down onto the rooftops, the weight of all this ash can make the roofs collapse and really injure anyone who's still stuck in here. So I really hope everyone got out of here okay. Such high levels of ash are really making it difficult to see and breathe out here. The Federal Aviation Administration sent out a warning to all aircraft in the nearby area due to loss of visibility and possible engine failure. Now, I'm getting reports that it seems that everyone made it out okay, but we'll make sure to keep you updated. A tsunami warning has also been initiated throughout the island. Volcanic eruptions are known to cause tsunamis with waves reaching over 40 feet. That's all from me in Hawaii. Back to you, Catherine.
All right, well, that's all we have for today. Thank you for joining us on Extreme Weather, and we'll see you next time. Hopefully.